Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lindsay, the housewife historian, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Orange County ladies, the Real Housewives of Orange County. We did get a new episode last night, and I said I would be covering it from now on out because we are getting Tamara back from a 3-year pause, was it? Or 4 years. So we're going to have Tamara, we're going to have Taylor, we have Gina, Emily, Shannon, and Heather Dubrow. So there is some content there, and I thought I would cover it. So we'll talk about that, and we'll try to talk a little bit about New Jersey. If you guys didn't get caught up to date with my videos from yesterday, then I'll quickly go through a couple of different things that we're hearing. And let's get started with the Real Housewives of Orange County. Everything in this video is alleged, okay? Let's go ahead and review what we think of last night's episode. Do you feel like it's going to be a good season? Do you feel like we are getting back to our roots a little bit in Orange County, a little bit a peek behind the gate? I watched Kelly and Rick. They do like a daily smash, but they also do a review of the Real Housewives of Orange County. And since Kelly Dodd was a Real Housewives of Orange County, she's pretty much an expert in it. And she gave us a lot of helpful insight and sort of broken the fourth wall down a couple of different times to give us information on how things work, like how the phone calls are always scheduled in advance. It's never a surprise phone call when someone's on camera and they're receiving or making a phone call. They are always planned, always. So Kelly has definitely confirmed that with us. Also, she talks about a little bit about Tamara. She gives us a little bit of background about Emily, a little bit of background about who else? Not much about Shannon. She didn't really say much about Shannon. And we already know a lot about Heather, but she does talk about the new girl a little bit because allegedly the new girl, we've seen her throughout the years because I think that she did make like guest appearances, maybe here and there with Tamara. She's big into the fitness world. She was part of their gym cut. They're actually closing, and now she runs a yoga studio. But her family is in Oklahoma, and that's where the family business is. And her husband works for the family business. So he actually lives in Oklahoma part of the year. And during her time at Cut, the gym that Tamara and Eddie owned, she met Ryan, who is now her current boyfriend. Now, meanwhile, it's important to understand this new housewife, she's also adopting children and animals. And I don't know if she really has this overflowing heart. I'm not quite sure. She seems, I would hope, obviously, that she does, but she seems to be pretty passionate about it, right? So it's Jennifer. Okay. She's a yogi with 5 kids and a complicated personal life. So we kind of can see the complication. If that's what she's going to be using as her storyline, it sort of makes sense now why all of the ladies have sort of asking her so many personal questions as it pertains to the affair. If you guys noticed, we saw whenever they went out to lunch, Gina and Emily and Jen, like they brought up the affair several different times. They asked a lot of invasive questions, and I don't think that you would have asked. They would have asked an average new housewife, unless if that was the narrative that they were going with, or just trying to like dive right on in. And she is kind of sort of being a little bit reluctant, as like she has never even held hands with Ryan, who is the man that she's dating right now. Allegedly, she was dating him before her and her husband were divorced because the husband was working out in Oklahoma, right? And so he wasn't home a lot of the times. But she claims that she did not actually have a physical affair. She had an emotional affair, if you will. And she also said that like they didn't even hold hands, like let alone have sex. And I was a little bit taken back by that. I don't know if I believe it. I want to know what you guys think. I do think that there are some people who can, that honor a gift of celibacy even after the fact, and just between like relationships and emotional and, the desire to like get in too deep too quick and adding like sex and making things complicated, whatever the case may be, everyone's own personal reasons for, if you guys notice on Real Housewives of Miami, uh, Adriana, she always has a 4-month rule. She's had a 4-month rule for years and years and years. And the producers asked her about that this last season because they remembered that she had a 4-month rule. 4 months. That's it. Just 4 months. I mean, and that seemed like it was a lot to producers for what they're used to hearing, right? So, but this does make me wonder if this is who got Tamra a little bit more into her spiritual side, only because we did see Tamra get baptized one year. And I remember that she had, I don't remember the whole episode season, but I just remember her getting baptized. And I thought that that was a little bit strange because it was, a little bit later in life. And now I'm wondering if maybe Jen, her and her husband were faithful in attending church and maybe she loves and serves the Lord. And so she has brought Tamara along. I'm not quite sure, but she surely is going to be getting a different side of Tamara because when Tamara films, they serve them alcohol from morning, all day, afternoon. And if you guys remember on the boat, Gina's first event that she's thrown since she's been a housewife, that's not a dig, guys. It's not a dig. Um, and she was toasted because when they go into fit the next day, the gym, they must have had filming set up for the next day. Tamra and Jen at the gym talking about closing it down. And Tamra says, "Oh my gosh, this is the most hungover I've been in years. I have to sit down. I feel dizzy." Kelly Dad made a couple of comments about this scene particularly as to what the women and how they're wearing their hair on the show. She's saying like they're very much Orange County, right? Like big cha-chas, skinny, very tan, very blonde hair. She said, but they both have like these heavy, 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 heavy extensions in their hair and it's too much. And when you get older, you can't wear heavy hair like that. It's refreshing to see shorter hair when you're a little bit seasoned, if you will. So I want to know what you guys thought. Is like the thick extension hair piece look out for the housewives? Because we also saw for the first time, we've never seen Teresa's hair short for a reunion. We've really seen her, I don't think we've really even seen her hair short. So um is that a staple? Teresa having a short haircut for the reunion, for the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion? Possible, right? Now, the gym is closing. Part of the drama between the ladies last night was over the fact that Jen did this yoga event, right? The yogi event. And she does a TikTok that's like basically saying how thankful she is that her yoga studio has made it through the pandemic, yada, yada, yada. And it was a day before Tamra's party that they were, I don't know if they were saying like Eddie was retiring or they were just selling the gym. I mean, they have the CBD line. I'm sure the gym was very profitable to them. Anytime you have a monthly subscription to something, that's where people want to get you. They want to get you every single month, okay? And that has long been how people said that Planet Fitness and other places actually made it through the pandemic, right? So, they probably did very decent at this gym. I'm not going to go around feeling bad for Tamara and Eddie, okay? I'm sorry, guys. Um, I think that Tamara was successful in the real estate world. I think that she met good connections through Simon, through the show. I think she's been blessed to come along and meet Eddie, who I think she seems to be very happy with. They seem to get along very good. So that's a good thing, but, her and Eddie didn't like to film a lot together, guys. We never saw Eddie. He did have a lot of medical issues that they did document when I think he had, like, a brain tumor, but I think that he just doesn't maybe like that side of Tamara because she does have to really, be a different person when she's filming. She can't be the same it's just like a performance, it's just like going to work, it's just like having to put your best foot forward. Like she is coming back this year to bring drama and bring ratings to the Real Housewives of Orange County. And so the audience and Bravo, everyone's expecting something from her. So I do think adding Jen to the cast is good for Tamra. That gives her an extra star. Okay. Also want to talk about the fact we have Gina. She was getting on my nerves a little bit. As much as I want to like Gina and I like what she stands for, and she's from the East Coast, New York City. I did feel a little bit agitated about her like being so offended about this girl Jen, and may or may not have had an affair. And she, obviously we know that Gina's husband cheated on her, right? She told us that. And we know that afterwards she was a mess. She got a DUI. She didn't show up to court. Shannon, came through, helped her out. She got all that cleared up. Thank goodness. She looks amazing. She said she completely quit drinking, which is amazing. She's California sober, which means she still loves the grass, but she doesn't drink anymore. And she says it's like a good thing. But the ladies are quick to point out that Gina allegedly moved. I'm sorry, it wasn't the ladies, it was Kelly, Kelly Dodd. She said allegedly Gina moved Ryan into her house while he was still married. I think he may or may not still be married. Not sure if they were separated or not. But people were saying, like, just because Gina didn't cheat on her husband at the time doesn't mean that it's okay. And then you bring a married man into your home to sleep with him. So what is the difference? I can see Kelly's point there, and it did seem a little bit annoying because we do know that there's been scrutiny behind Gina's husband or boyfriend or fiance or whatever. Kelly said that her and Rick even tried to help him get him a job. People were helping to get the guy jobs, and he just seems very unmotivated. Travis is his name. Is that his name? Is her ex name Travis too? I can't remember her ex's name. Regardless, I don't know if we're gonna get to see much of him, but I'm glad to see that Gina did throw an event. It looks like she threw it at the beginning of the season to get it over with. I'm not sure if that's the case. All the ladies wore pink. They did look beautiful. And we did get to see Taylor Armstrong this episode. Also wanting to know what you guys are thinking and feeling about Taylor. I noticed we're not hearing a lot. We're not really hearing. I thought that we would be hearing a little bit more of a uh Taylor sort of stan accounts, but we're not, and that's okay. I think the Real Housewives of Orange County is showing some potential this season. I'm saddened by the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I went on to watch um the episode, and it's like, as much as I love the ladies and I love that franchise, it does need refreshed, because it's like I can't sit through it as easily. Like, as much as I want to know what's going on with all the ladies, I can't seem to find myself being able to sit through it all. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because they do filler scenes, like they have Candy come in. She's in there talking to Don Juan, and they're talking about her schedule, and they get on the whiteboard and they're writing down everything she has to do for the month. And they're talking about Todd not making enough money for Todd, and Mama Joyce is talking bad about Todd at BravoCon. And it's like, "Ugh, we know this one already though, Candy. We know you're overbooked. We know that you want Todd to help you, but you don't necessarily want to help him in his adventures. You're the more successful one, and so be it." But it's like we need something a little bit different here. Kenya looks amazing. She looks amazing. She's really killing it, and I would really like to see. Kenya does great by herself, but it's always nice to see her around girls because she is a very fun, loving, I think, a girl's girl, and I think that's why her and Teresa like kind of hit it off right away. But I just don't think she's with the right cast. It looks like she finally is in a good place, being a mom, being a single mom, getting rid of Mark, maybe dating somebody new. She looks happy in her or like in her social life, but necessarily for the show, we still don't have, we have her, and we could never have the show without Kenya. I don't think at this point, but I don't know, guys. I just think we need some fresh meat. I don't really want to see Marlo fighting with everyone. I really wish I would have seen Marlo just do her own storyline with the two boys, and maybe shed some light on reintegration, reducing recidivism, reform, the prison system, what it does to the children. I mean, there's a lot there, guys. A lot that, the average person watching doesn't know or understand. And you can help them understand these things, right? Now, also, guys, I don't know why I bounced to Atlanta because, again, I think I was trying to watch it last night, but let's go back to the Real Housewives of Orange County again. Shannon it's going to be a rough season, guys, because of the fact that we know that Shannon and John are going to film all season long, and then they're going to break up as soon as the cameras wrap up filming. It's sort of watching the same with Drew and Ralph on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because we know that as soon as filming dropped, they filed for divorce. So they were faking it. They had to have been faking it. Just like I don't think Shannon was necessarily faking it. I think that John might have been faking it. That's just my opinion. But you know what? I like Shannon. I love that she showed up to yoga, even though she's not great at it. And she um takes it like the champ. She takes one for the team. You know what I'm saying? She's like, you know what, whatever. I can't do it. I'm gonna fall over. I'm not, you know, like in the shape to be wearing little bra tops and leggings like all these other ladies. She's like, I'm just used to it. I live in Orange County. Like but yeah, guys, I don't know what we're really going to be seeing from some of the other ladies. Another couple things I wanted to tell you that Kelly did share with us was about Shane and Emily, and the fact that Shane's father is very, very, very wealthy, and he got into some sort of computers, not Microsoft, but something else before Microsoft. So he's very, very wealthy. And he bought all of his son's homes, and they all live right there in that cul-de-sac. Emily and Shane and his family all live right there. So that's interesting because I don't think that we necessarily knew that. Um, have we met his brothers and family? I don't remember. I think we've met his parents, haven't we? Shane's parents? I can't remember. I'll have to look into that. But that was something to know. You know, we didn't know that his parents had bought that whole houses for all of them and in the cul-de-sac. And that's probably why money wasn't ever an issue for them. And Emily is educated and she's a lawyer, I think a real estate lawyer or contract law, something along those lines. Tamara says, well, I'm sorry, Kelly says that Emily desperately wanted to be a housewife, that Emily sought out and tried to make friends with all the housewives. And as soon as Kelly wasn't a housewife anymore, that Emily dropped her. I don't know if I believe that that's true or not, but I see that I could see it. I think that Emily probably does good like with one-on-one. Like that's why she's good with Gina and she isn't able to maybe like be really good friends with more than a lot of people at one time because I think she probably has a lot going on in her life with 3 kids and the husband and everything else. But yeah, she doesn't seem to be someone that could she seemed like she really trusted Emily or she trusted Gina. Maybe it's because they came in together as 2 new girls, and so they sort of had each other's backs, right? So they had a pact, if you will, and Kelly Dodd, great and that again, bringing up a great point. I think Portia Williams also said this too. It's not good to have alliances in the Real Housewives. It's not good for the franchise, right? And it wasn't good maybe to bring Gina and Emily on at the same time because again, you have the 2 new girls and you have them now making a pact with each other. Just something to think about, guys. I want to know what you guys think. If you're watching the OC, what your thoughts are. Are you excited to see Tamra back? Are you excited to see Heather? I did think Heather's home scenes were nice. We know her home is gorgeous. And I like to see her interaction with her children because I do feel like it's authentic. I think that she puts on a mask though for the husband. Maybe their relationship isn't like that, and maybe they just do it so well in front of the kids, for in front of everyone else socially for all these years that they're able to do it on cameras. Because I just don't know if I really believe that their relationship is the way that is, but maybe it really is. I mean, we don't know. But we've heard rumors about him. We've heard about him and his own staff and their lunches and their sharing of onion rings over drinks, allegedly. If you guys remember, Kelly Dodd was talking about that a couple of years ago. So not everyone has a perfect relationship, but it's nice to see Heather with her children. Her children seem very funny, witty, like they're going to be, great, rich, what are they called? Nunu babies? Is that what it is? Like the children of wealthy people? Is that what they're called? I can't remember. But I think that at least our children will get a very good education out of their parents before they head off to make their own millions. So And Heather says she wants to get back into the acting world. If you guys don't know, Heather and Terry did sell their Orange County home and buy like an apartment or a condo in one of the most expensive, buildings in LA. So maybe she is getting her foot back in the door into acting and getting out there. I wouldn't be surprised. We're seeing Lisa Renna. She is filming for American Horror Story. So she really took off. We've never seen a housewife bounce back like that. And we surely haven't seen one bounce back so quick. But honey, when you have to hustle, you got hustle. So you got to work a little bit harder than the other ladies, right? When you need it. And that's okay though, because you work harder for it. So, I wish Lisa Renna the best. I'm glad to see that she's working. That's good. I'm sure she wishes that Harry would like maybe take a load off of her, but hey, maybe this was the plan, right? Maybe this was the whole arrangement the whole time. We don't know. Other than that, guys, not a lot going on in the Bravo community. Of course, we still have a lot going on with the Real Housewives in New Jersey, but I wanted to give you guys just this video about Beverly Hills, Orange County. I didn't talk about Beverly Hills. I keep thinking that because there was an article that came out last month that I just read about Taylor Armstrong saying that she felt like Lisa Vanderpump had set up the scene in her living room to have Camille confront Taylor about the abuse, which then led Taylor to have to prep Russell for what was going to come out. And sadly, he ended up unaliving himself. So I think that Taylor has probably, it's been good for her to be gone for a while. Her daughter's older now. She took time to raise her and be home with her. And I think that's a good thing. But I think she probably still has a lot of resentment. And even though things work out the way they are supposed to work out, that's just how they work out how they're supposed to. And it seems that she's been able to move on and really build a beautiful life for herself. And she's remarried and has a beautiful daughter, and they have a beautiful home. And I think that it looks like she's probably had a good, a good last 10 years. And now she's back to the show. And I don't think she necessarily knows how to incorporate herself and where she falls into. But she has to remember she's one of the first housewives to ever switch franchises. So Bravo's going to be looking at her and they're going to be watching how fans respond. So I wouldn't mind seeing some ladies switch up in franchises. I don't know how you guys feel. So if that's the case, then they're banking it on Taylor. I need her to make sure she brings it. Just saying. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great day and we will chat soon.